So I walk in the house, and that's when I see all the paraphernalia on the table, some with peanut butter. And I'm like, hey, hi, Mommy. I'm like, you okay? He was like, yeah. And I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. And then he asked why his dad was being so mean.
The people who know what's going on in my bed, they know what the hell going on with my bed and what the hell I do in it. That ain't for everybody on the internet. That ain't for no blogs. That ain't for no websites. I don't gotta tell nobody where I put my wood at.
One of the individuals Royce witnessed partying with Dwight was Kevin Wesley, a polygamist influencer. All these people, according to Royce, seemed utterly insane. Dwight's pal even made a threat to blow up the entire house with a gun.
Son made her boyfriend's son him off. Yeah, inappropriate misconduct of a minor or something like that is charged. Yeah, I'm just curious as to where the son could have gotten it from, because that's predatory behavior.
That's when she knew she had to go with her son. And then, I recall, he kind of lost it on Callie, his friend at the time. I even recall him threatening to blow up the entire home with a gun because of some gay stuff the next day. It escalated into this big, fat debate that I had no idea what that gay thing was, but I knew I had to get up and leave. In addition, he was menacing me. His expression had changed to the point where I could tell he was high on something. But I knew I had to leave. And there was one of his former employees. I believe he was his trainer, who used to work for him. He observed it as a third party. He was even making an effort to calm him down. But at that point, I realized that we needed to leave this place immediately since things were becoming hazardous and irresponsible.
We ended up going to court, and I had a video of Braylon covering his face because he was saying how people were blowing smoke in his face, how Daddy's friends look like zombies at the bottom of the stairs. Daddy acts weird.
That she had to go take her son out of that house. And I'm thinking, this is endangering children. I really should get out of here. And if all of this wasn't unsettling enough, there was a recent complaint that claimed Braylon had inappropriate behavior with another boy, which resulted in Royce being charged with child neglect. According to court records obtained by the Shade Room in March 2022, Braylon had a history of inappropriate behavior, including an alleged incident in which he coerced Royce's boyfriend's son into performing an act while the two boys were at Royce's house. Documents state that when Braylon was interrogated by the investigators, he disclosed that he gets triggered by rage and acts out sexually. Authorities forbade Braylon from interacting in any way with youngsters who were at least 2 years younger than him. And that includes Royce's boyfriend's son, according to the court report. In a recent interview with Vlad, Royce talked about this incident and revealed that 2 years earlier, she had discovered something inappropriate was happening. She then contacted a therapist, who was then required by law to report it to the authorities. Were you detained and accused of neglecting a kid in your case? What precisely transpired then? After learning about certain events that had occurred roughly 2 years earlier, I actually called the therapist to report them. Due to the fact that therapists are required reporters, I ended up facing charges of child neglect. However, I placed the phone call. It was me who basically described what transpired. However, things worsen. Royce claims that ever since Braylon was a newborn, she has been reporting inappropriate stuff. But a judge who, we may assume, Dwight paid off threatened to take Braylon away from her. I have documented multiple instances. Since Braylon was a newborn, I have been complaining that inappropriate things are happening with my son.
There were a lot of parties, and we're supposed to be on quarantine. So that was an issue in itself because who are these people? Why are they here? You know, had they been tested, you're saying the world is ending, but yet you're inviting the world over. And it was all types of people. Every pronoun.
He threatened to take Braylon away from me, and I would lose custody if I ever made any similar accusations. That day, my mother was in court with me. Rising from my seat, I swore at the judge and at his lawyer, man Downs, before leaving the courtroom. He threatened to treat me with contempt. Speaking of males who supposedly pay people to hide their transgressions, there are reports that Diddy and Dwight used to go really wild together. Furthermore, it is said that Diddy developed feelings for Dwight following his 2014 Diddy's Valentine's Day All-Star Tip-Off, an All-Star NBA game. For some reason, singer TQ only included Dwight and Diddy in his post promoting this event back then.
At that moment, Callie, I remember him like going off on him. And then I even remember the next day him threatening to shoot up the entire house because of some gay shit. I didn't know what that gay shit was, but I knew I needed to.
He wrote, Diddy and Dwight Howard tonight. Diddy's Valentine's Day All-Star Tip-Off. With all of these reports circulating about Diddy and Dwight, fans are understandably worried since, if these accusations are real, who knows what their children saw. Another fan wrote, but let us know in the comments how you feel about all this. A fan also made a comment. Do you truly believe Diddy and Dwight went out together to parties? After leaving a comment below, watch the following video.